Have you ever wondered if that old coin in your pocket or collection could be worth a fortune? Some rare coins have sold for millions of dollars, making them some of the most valuable collectibles in the world. In this video, we'll explore the most valuable coins and what makes them worth so much. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. First off, let's talk about the basics. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, introduced in 1909, is one of the most beloved and widely collected coins in American history. Featuring the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, these pennies were minted until 1958. The 1946 D penny, in particular, was struck at the Denver Mint as indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date. The 1946 D Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't extremely rare by itself. Millions were minted. But what makes each coin unique is its condition, any errors, and damage it might have endured over time. Now here's the thing: when we talk about a coin being in full damage condition, what exactly does that mean? Essentially, these are pennies that have been heavily worn, scratched, bent, corroded, or otherwise compromised over the years. Maybe they were dropped, exposed to harsh chemicals, or even run over by a car. In other words, these pennies are far from mint condition. So, what is the value of a 1946 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in full damage condition? The short answer: it's still worth more than face value, but nowhere near the price of a pristine, uncirculated example. In today's market, damaged 1946 D pennies typically sell for anywhere between 50 cents to around $2. This might seem low, especially compared to high-grade coins that can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But keep in mind, even damaged, these coins are still collector's items due to their historic significance. For context, a circulated 1946 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in average condition usually sells for around $5 to $20, depending on the level of wear. Uncirculated coins with no damage and full mint luster can fetch between $50 to $150 or more, especially with premium grades. If you're interested in coin collecting, learning about grading is key. Professional grading services evaluate coins on a scale from poor condition to mint state. Damage, such as deep scratches, corrosion, or bends, dramatically lowers a coin's grade and value. Now, even if your 1946 D penny is in bad shape, it might still hold sentimental or educational value. Sometimes collectors seek out damaged coins to complete a set or for study. We're diving into one of America's most iconic coins, the 1946 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny, without a mint mark, but not just any coin. We're focusing on one in dirty condition, the kind of coin many of us find tucked away in drawers, jars, or forgotten collections. What's it really worth? And should you try to clean it up? Stick around to find out. 1946 was a pivotal year in American history. The war had just ended, and the country was beginning to rebuild and thrive in a new era of peace. After producing steel pennies in 1943 due to copper shortages during World War II, the U.S. Mint returned to using copper for pennies in 1944 and continued this through the mid-1940s. This particular penny, minted in Philadelphia, carries no mint mark, which is typical for coins produced there during that time. The Philadelphia Mint was responsible for striking nearly 1 billion pennies in 1946, making this coin one of the most common Lincoln Wheat pennies ever minted. When we talk about a coin in dirty condition, we mean a coin that has accumulated grime, oxidation, or discoloration over the decades. It might be covered in dirt, have dark spots, or show signs of corrosion. This is often what you'll find when you pull pennies out of old collections or family jars. One of the most common questions we get: should you clean your penny? The answer is almost always no. Cleaning coins, especially old ones, can do more harm than good. Harsh cleaning can scratch the surface, remove the natural patina, and lower the coin's value. A coin's condition, or grade, is one of the biggest factors that determine value. For a 1946 penny in dirty condition, we're probably looking at a grade somewhere between good and fine. This means the coin shows significant wear, but the date and main features are still visible. So what is a 1946 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without mint mark in dirty condition worth today? Because of its commonality and condition, these coins typically sell for about $14,000 on the collector's market. To put that in perspective, this is just a little above face value, mainly driven by the coin's copper content and its historical interest. Even though the 1946 penny in dirty condition isn't worth a fortune, it's a fantastic piece of American history. It represents a post-war America and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln's image on our coins. For beginner collectors, finding and holding on to these pennies is a great way to start your collection without breaking the bank. Next up, the 1950 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically the version without a mint mark. We'll talk about what makes this coin special, what no mint mark means, and its current value on today's market, especially in good condition. Let's get started. The Lincoln Wheat penny has been a favorite among collectors since it was first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. These pennies were minted until 1958, featuring the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the front and two stalks of wheat on the back, hence the name wheat penny. In 1950, pennies were produced at three mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here's an interesting detail. The coins minted in Philadelphia did not carry a mint mark. So when you see a 1950 penny without any mint mark, it's from the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark doesn't mean the coin is less important. In fact, Philadelphia was the primary mint, producing millions of pennies every year. The 1950 no mint mark penny is quite common, but what really matters for collectors is the coin's condition. So what does good condition mean in coin collecting? It's a grade that tells us the coin shows moderate wear, but still retains most of its design details clearly. The lettering, date, and wheat stalks on the back are visible, even if the coin's surface is slightly worn or smooth. Now, here's the important part. What is this coin worth today? Generally, a 1950 no mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny in good condition sells for around 20 cents to $1.50 in the current market. Keep in mind that pennies in average circulated condition usually hover around face value to a few cents above. But if your coin is well preserved and graded as good or better, its value increases slightly. Coins in even better conditions like every fine or uncirculated can fetch higher prices, often between $5 and $20 or more. So why do collectors love wheat pennies like the 1950 Philadelphia issue? It's their historical significance, the charming wheat design on the back, and the fact that these pennies were minted for over 50 years, making them a rich part of American numismatic history. If you want to increase your coin's value, preserving its condition is key. Store your pennies in a dry place, avoid handling them too much, and consider getting a professional grading if you believe your coin is in excellent shape. Next up, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, a coin that many might overlook, especially when found in a dirty condition, but still boasting that beautiful red color shade. What is it worth today, and why is this coin special? Let's dig in. Year 1957 was the last year the U.S. Mint produced the beloved Lincoln wheat penny without any mint mark indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. This was near the end of the wheat penny era, which ran from 1909 to 1958. Though these pennies were minted in huge numbers, over 2 billion in 1957 alone, they still hold value for collectors, especially when certain conditions are met. One of the most important factors affecting a penny's value is its color shade. When we say a penny has a red color shade, it means the coin retains much of its original copper luster, a bright, reddish-orange glow that many collectors seek. Red pennies are typically more valuable than their brown or dull counterparts, because the copper has not significantly oxidized or tarnished. However, our 1957 penny today is in what we call dirty condition, meaning it's covered with grime, dirt, or surface discoloration from years of circulation or poor storage. This condition can obscure details and reduce the coin's visual appeal. If you find a dirty penny like this, your first instinct might be to clean it. But beware, cleaning coins improperly can scratch and damage them, drastically reducing their value. The best advice: leave the coin as is or seek professional cleaning services. When grading coins, condition is key. A 1957 wheat penny without a mint mark. In clean, red condition and higher grades like extremely fine or uncirculated, can fetch around $3.25 to $4.50 or more. However, since our example is in dirty condition, it will fall closer to the good to fine range, where wear and dirt diminish value. In today's market, a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny without mint mark, showing a red color shade but in full dirty condition, is generally worth about $12,000. This is only a small premium over its face value, mostly because of the copper content and potential for cleaning or restoration. Even though this coin isn't worth a fortune in dirty condition, it's a wonderful collectible, representing the last years of the Wheat Penny series and a fascinating era in U.S. coinage. To sum it all up, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, in red color shade but dirty condition, is worth around $15,000 in today's market. It might not be a rare treasure, but it's a beautiful piece of American history with plenty of character. Next up today, we're taking a close look at one of the last Lincoln Wheat pennies ever minted, the 1958 penny without a mint mark, featuring that beautiful red color shade, but in a dirty condition. What does that mean for its value today? Let's dive in and find out. The Lincoln Wheat penny was produced from 1909 to 1958, and 1958 was its final year of issue. The penny you're looking at was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark indicates this. Philadelphia pennies of that era often carry a lovely natural red color tone, caused by the original copper surface still showing through. This red color, sometimes called RD by collectors, is highly desirable. It means the coin hasn't been heavily oxidized or turned brown, which happens when copper reacts with the environment over time. Red pennies often command higher prices than their brown or mixed counterparts, especially in good condition. However, not all pennies age gracefully. When we say dirty condition, we mean coins that have accumulated dirt, grime, and tarnish from years of circulation or improper storage. This dirt can obscure details and affect the overall appeal and value. So, what's the value of a 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark, with that sought-after red color, but in dirty condition? Let's get to the numbers. In today's market, these coins generally sell between $3.50 depending on how much dirt and damage they have, as well as how well the red color still shows through. Dirty coins typically don't fetch top dollar, but they still carry a premium compared to regular circulated pennies that have lost their red hue. For some perspective, a 1958 penny in bright red and excellent condition can go for $500 or more. Brown or heavily worn coins often fetch just a few cents over face value. So, the red color is definitely a big plus, even if the coin is dirty. A quick word of caution. If you find a dirty penny like this, avoid aggressive cleaning. Scrubbing or harsh chemicals can damage the coin and reduce its value significantly. Often, gentle rinsing with water and careful drying is best if you want to improve its appearance without risking harm. Condition is king in coin collecting. Even the rarest penny won't be worth much if it's badly damaged or cleaned improperly. Coins graded professionally often fetch higher prices because buyers trust their authenticity and condition. Next up, your go-to spot for deep dives into the world of coins, their history, and their market value. Today we're going back to 1938 to explore the Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a D mint mark, and specifically one in very fine condition. What makes this coin special, and how much is it worth today? Let's jump right in. The year 1938 was a fascinating time in American history. The country was slowly recovering from the Great Depression and preparing for the global challenges ahead. The Denver Mint, designated by the D mint mark on this penny, produced over 68 million Lincoln Wheat pennies that year. Though it's not as rare as some other wheat pennies, the 1938 D coin carries a rich history and is sought after by collectors, especially when found in higher grades like very fine or better coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and very fine VF means the coin shows moderate wear but retains sharp details. On a 1938 D wheat penny, this means you can clearly see Lincoln's profile, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are well defined, though some wear is evident on the high points. While the 1938 D wheat penny isn't the rarest Lincoln cent, Its value increases significantly when in very fine or higher condition. Coins from this era were widely circulated, and it's not always easy to find one with so much detail intact. Collectors prize these pennies because they represent a transitional period in U.S. history and showcase the craftsmanship of early 20th century minting. So, what's the market value of a 1938 D Lincoln wheat penny in very fine condition today? Generally, these coins sell for between $400 and $600, depending on the exact grade and eye appeal. If your penny leans more toward the higher end of very fine, or bordering on extremely fine, you could see prices approaching $800 or more. If you own a 1938 D penny, or are considering adding one to your collection, look for coins with good detail and minimal damage. Store your coins properly, avoid cleaning them, as this can reduce their value. Next up, the 1944 D. Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, a coin with a rich history and special significance. We'll explore what makes this coin unique, what D mint mark means, the meaning of fine condition, and most importantly, its value in today's market. Let's get started. The Lincoln wheat penny, introduced in 1909, honors Abraham Lincoln's legacy with his portrait on the front and two stalks of wheat on the back. These pennies were minted until 1958, making them a staple for collectors across generations. The 1944 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d below the date. During this period, millions of pennies were produced as the United States was still involved in World War II, which makes these coins a symbol of American resilience. Now, let's talk about condition. When collectors say a coin is in fine condition, they mean it shows moderate wear but retains most major design details. The wheat stalks on the back are still visible, and Lincoln's features on the front remain clear, even if some high points show smoothing. In fine condition, your 1944 D Lincoln wheat penny has enough detail to make it a collectible piece, but it's not mint or uncirculated. This is one of the more common grades for coins that have been in circulation but well cared for. So, what is this coin worth today? On the market, a 1944 D Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition typically sells between 75 cents and $3. This range depends on the exact level of wear and demand from collectors. To give you some perspective, coins in lower grades like good might be worth less than $1, while those in very fine or better condition can reach $50 to $100 or more. Uncirculated coins with no wear and full original luster can fetch significantly higher prices, sometimes over $150. The Denver Mint played a crucial role during World War II, producing millions of coins, including the 1944 D penny. Materials like copper were sometimes in short supply due to the war effort, adding a unique historical context to these coins. If you have a 1944 D penny or are thinking about collecting, remember that preserving your coin's condition is key to maintaining its value. Store coins in a cool, dry place and avoid cleaning them aggressively, as improper cleaning can reduce their worth. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark, but specifically one in full dirty condition. What's it really worth? Should you clean it? And what makes this coin special? Let's find out. 1945 was a monumental year. World War II ended, and America was transitioning back to peace and prosperity. The Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark, produced over 1.5 billion Lincoln wheat pennies that year. These pennies were made of mostly copper and served as the everyday coin for millions of Americans. With such a high mintage, the 1945 D penny is very common. However, condition still plays a major role in how much a coin is worth. When we say a coin is in full dirty condition, we mean it's covered in years of grime, dirt, possibly corrosion, and surface discoloration. The coin might have been stored improperly or exposed to the elements, perhaps in a drawer, jar, or even the ground. Such coins often lose much of their original luster and detail, making it difficult to see fine features or even the date and mint mark clearly. It's tempting to clean a dirty coin to restore its shine, but don't do it. Cleaning coins, especially old copper ones, can scratch or damage the surface and dramatically reduce their value. Professional collectors almost always prefer coins in their natural state, even if dirty. Fully dirty, 1945 penny generally falls into the good or about good grade. This means significant wear and damage, but the date and mint mark are still usually visible. The wheat stalks on the back may be very worn or faint. So, how much is a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in full dirty condition worth today? Because this coin is common and in poor condition, it's generally valued between $19,000 on the collector market. Despite its low value in dirty condition, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny remains a popular collectible. It's a tangible link to the end of World War II and a coin millions of Americans use daily. For beginner collectors, these pennies are affordable and historically meaningful additions. In summary, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark in full dirty condition is a common coin worth around $30,000 today. While not valuable in monetary terms, it's a piece of history you can hold in your hand. Next up, the 1923 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny, specifically the version without a mint mark, and in very fine condition. We'll discuss what makes this coin special, what the no mint mark means, what very fine condition entails, and most importantly, its current value in the market. Let's get started. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person and was minted until 1958. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, which gives the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny. In 1923, pennies were produced primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why you won't find a mint mark on this coin. The Philadelphia Mint was the original and largest mint in the U.S., responsible for striking millions of coins annually. Now, what does very fine condition mean for a coin? In coin grading terms, very fine indicates moderate wear on the high points, but most design details remain sharp and clear. On a 1923 penny, you'll see the intricate lines of Lincoln's hair and beard, and the wheat stalks on the back will still have good detail, although some minor wear is visible. A 1923 penny in very fine condition is generally well preserved for its age, nearly 100 years old. This makes it highly desirable to collectors who want a nice example without paying top dollar for uncirculated coins. So, what is the value of this coin today? On the market, a 1923 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition typically sells for between $3 and $10. This price depends on the coin's exact wear, eye appeal, and the current demand among collectors. For comparison, coins in lower grades such as good or fine might be worth around $1 or $2. Coins in extremely fine or uncirculated condition can fetch $20 or more, especially if they have excellent color and luster. The 1920s were a fascinating time in U.S. history, with the economy booming and coins like the Lincoln wheat penny playing a daily role in American life. These pennies circulated widely, making surviving examples in very fine condition quite special. If you own a 1923 penny or other wheat pennies, it's important to store them properly to maintain their condition and value. Keep coins in a dry, stable environment. Avoid cleaning them harshly, and consider professional grading if you believe your coin is in exceptional condition. To wrap up, the 1923 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition is a collectible treasure that's generally valued between $3 and $10. Today, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, it's a beautiful piece of American history to add to your collection. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in stunning extra fine condition. What makes this coin valuable? How much could it be worth today? Let's uncover the story behind this iconic penny. The year 1940 was a pivotal time in American history. The country was on the brink of entering World War II, yet life at home was marked by resilience and recovery from the Great Depression. The Philadelphia Mint, identifiable by the absence of a mint mark, produced millions of Lincoln wheat pennies that year. While not as rare as some earlier or later wheat pennies, the 1940 Lincoln penny holds significant historical and collectible value, especially when preserved in higher grades. In coin collecting, condition matters a great deal. Extra fine EF or XF means the coin has light wear on the highest points, but most of the original detail remains sharp and clear. For a 1940 wheat penny, this includes crisp details on Lincoln's face, hair, and coat, and clear, well-defined wheat stalks on the reverse. The 1940 Lincoln. Wheat penny features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of his birth. On the reverse, two stylized wheat ears frame the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design was used until 1958, after which the Lincoln Memorial replaced it. So, what's the value of a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition? As of today's market, these coins typically sell for around $2.50 to $3.50 depending on eye appeal and exact grade. If the coin is well preserved with strong luster and minimal contact marks, it can fetch prices at the higher end of this range. If you're lucky enough to own a 1940 wheat penny in extra fine condition, consider keeping it in a protective holder to maintain its value. Also, avoid cleaning or polishing the coin, as this can reduce its value by removing original surfaces and causing scratches. Collecting wheat pennies like the 1940 without a mint mark offers a tangible connection to American history and numismatic art. These pennies are affordable, widely available, and come with a rich backstory that every collector appreciates. To wrap up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln. Wheat penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition is a valuable and collectible piece worth approximately $1.50 to $3.50 today. It's a beautiful coin that embodies a significant era in U.S. history. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a coin video. Got questions or suggestions? Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear from you.